Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing. And in today's video, we're going to be headed to Prairie Creek. But before we do that, we take a look at the bottom of the screen and see that our car performance is a plus 37 now. So a far cry over where we were before race 1. However, you can see that we're at plus 9s across the board except for the tires, which are a plus 10. The first thing I want to do is take a look in the garage screen, and you can see we've got some repair costs here. But everything's in excellent condition, so they're not vital that we do these right now. We certainly could, and that would, if we want to top things off after each event, that is certainly fine, and we may end up doing that on a more regular basis. But what I really want to do right now is take you through some potential upgrades in the future that I'm going to be looking at. My guess is that the most bang for the buck we're going to get is out of the engine. That's where we're really down, and it's going to hurt us the most as far as improving our finishing position. The next on that list would be the tires. So my plan is to go engine or tires next, and of course we've already seen that the tires are a much cheaper option to upgrade. So what I want to do now is we're done with phase 1, and phase 1 I would say is we've done about all we can do here on the very beginning screen on the 1-star products. So now I want to move on to the 2-star screen. So basically phase 2. And you can see here we can get a plus 20 on the tires for only $9,700. And I say only $9,700 because if we back out, something tells me that the engine is going to be much more expensive than that to get us onto the 2 screen. Yeah, $42,930. In fact, we might not even be able to do that for quite some time. It might be worth it for us just to go with the 24,900 model. But that'll be our next huge jump in performance, another plus 10 from where we were. And so that's what I'm looking for. These other two, between the chassis and the suspension, not really all that focused on them right now. And again, we'll see how things progress as we go forward. We certainly want to continue to improve our ride, but right now we need a maximum of what, 120, a plus 120 up here under current performance, and we're just not anywhere near that right now. And so the closer we can get to that, the better off we'll be, and we'll just see how many seasons it takes. We know if we come over to the schedule, we got 14 races here in our inaugural season here in the midget class. I don't know what's going to happen after this season. Are we required to move up? Are we allowed to move up? What are the minimum standings that we have to reach, minimum point standings that we have to reach in order to be eligible to move up? Lots of questions that I have, and I know some of you guys are much farther ahead in this, so you already know the answers to those questions. But for me, I'm really enjoying the process of learning all of this for the first time and just seeing the flow. The career mode is one of my absolute favorite things about the NASCAR Heat Series, and as things get started here with the Tony Stewart Sprint Car game, I am finding that I'm really enjoying it here as well. So I'm relishing this. Even though we're struggling on the track, I am still having loads of fun, and I really hope that you guys are too. So now we come back to the main screen. Prairie Creek is a 1/4 mile in length, and it looks like it also has very little banking. And of course, the issue we ran into last time was that we ran out of gearing. 6.0 is the highest number you can use to get more RPM. So hopefully that'll be less of an issue here, and we'll be able to compete a little bit better. Qualifying and practice are now in the books. So our qualifying goal time was 10.85. We came in at a 10.81, so just barely below that. I think there was more time there for me, but we were so slow compared to the field that it was very hard to run any sort of a consistent line. I was basically having to just try to stay out of the way as best I could. You can see qualifying at 10.84, essentially the same that we run in practice. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I've never seen this track before today, so it'll take a little time to get used to it. I know what I need to do, but simply just don't have the time right now to try to make it happen, nor do we have the grip or the horsepower to make it happen here in career mode. So with that out of the way, we are going to be moving on to heat number 1, and we're going to be starting, I believe, at the very back of the field. Our qualifying time was, I believe, 33rd out of 40 or so cars here. So we are sliding further and further toward the back as the season goes on. Definitely not what we're looking for. So we're going to need some upgrades to the car, and pretty quickly, if we're going to try to get back up around that 25th place level so that we can start getting a bigger share of the race purse. It sure does sound good that we're in heat number 1 until you realize it's because we were near the back of the field. So we're going to be at the back of this field on the starting line, and let's see, I'm going to slow down because these guys go unbelievably slow on the start. I'm not sure why. Even with our reduced horsepower, we're still able to outmuscle these guys. And oh, there, we just got ran over again by the one car that was behind us. All right, so let's try to find some sort of rhythm and see if we can catch any of these guys. All right. There's not a whole lot of lifting that's required whenever you're going this slow. So I'm not spending very much time off the throttle at all. In fact, just a quick blip of the throttle just to rotate the car, and then I'm right back on it full. And there we go. 9th place finish here in our heat race. Wow, that is no good at all. So that'll move us on to the B main, where we'll be starting in 13th position.
Where the top 5 finishers all advance to the A main. Good luck out there.
All right, here we go, starting in the rear of the B main. So I don't like our chances to make it all the way to the A main. So really what I'm most interested in is just the same thing as we always do. Just give it everything we've got, whatever that is. Whether it's finishing dead last or winning the race. Oh, I believe we've got somebody under us. And I think we might have somebody on our outside too. I can't tell. So I'm trying to give these guys room just in case. All right, now more guys are going to be to our inside if they weren't already. I really like this high side coming off that corner, but I also know that it is not fast for us, but it is a lot of fun to get up here and ride. Right now, basically, I'm just having to try to stay out of the way. These guys are just blowing my doors off to the point that, and like I said, I'm off the throttle very little. Maybe a half second total for the entire lap, and you can see these guys are just pulling away from me to a huge extent. But we're going to try to get any of these guys we can, so we come home 16th. So not as good as we've done even in the last few races. Wow, we are going downhill fast. So 16th out of 20 cars here in the B main. The struggle is real right now. But the one thing I love about career mode is throughout all of these struggles, that's only going to make it even sweeter when our car is finally capable of running up front and contending for top 5s and victories. That's where it really pays off. So I don't mind the struggle as long as we have something to look forward to in the future. So we 16th out of 20. Let's see where that places us overall. Final results. We will come home. Ooh, 36. That is certainly not what we were looking for. All right, let's see what we've got on the season standings. All right, somehow we're still 25th. Might have to look into that a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I was beginning to think maybe there were only 25 cars going for the full season, and the rest of these cars were just showing up here and there. But no, here they are. 374 points. Quite a bit behind 24th position. You can see all of these guys behind me are very close. 2 points, 4 points, and so on. All right, so that takes care of the final results. Now let's move on to the race earnings. $814 for our 36th place finish, along with our sponsor payout and our merch that was sold of $3. Total $1,727. So we'll take a look when we come back next time and see exactly what that can do for us. But for right now, that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. And stay tuned as we'll continue with more career mode gameplay of Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing.